You're watching Inside Automotive with Jim Fitzpatrick.
Hey everyone, Jim Fitzpatrick. Thanks so much for joining us this morning. Many dealers struggle with dirty data. You know who you are out there. And it's in their CRMs and their DMS systems. And so leading to miscommunication and missed opportunities, which is most important. You don't want to miss any opportunities, especially now. Joining us now to discuss this issue further and to share what you can do about this situation is Brooke Furniss. You've seen her here before on CBT News. In fact, you've seen her everywhere because she speaks at every great conference. She's a phenomenal speaker and just an all-around great person helping dealers all over the country. So she's also founder of BZ Consultant Group and also host of the wildly popular Facts Not Feelings podcast, which I highly recommend that you tune into. You will not be sorry. So Brooke, thank you so much for joining us once again on the show.
Thank you so much for having that. I've just decided that you're going to come around and be my hype man for moving forward. So thank you so much for that introduction.
I'll be your advanced person. You know what I mean? That I'll just like get the PR going and invite you, welcome you to the stage. But no, you're doing great work for dealers and for the industry, keeping us all on the straight and narrow. So what are some of the biggest challenges that dealers face when it comes to dirty data in their CRM and their DMS systems? They know they've got to address this situation. They know it's a reality. And the moment that they clean it all up, in the next 5 days, they're going to be starting to compile it again, right?
Amen to that. Now, it is a really, really big topic, and it drives me bonkers when I go in and I see a dealership that's spending all this money, whether it's on digital assets or, hey, we're going to do a mailer. I'm like, you understand that statistically speaking, only 50% of the customers are actually going to reach. So you do a mailer for 20,000 people, you're reaching 10,000. And in what world are we okay throwing that money away?
Right.
And there are a lot of companies out there. My suggestion before I get into the stats is just please ask them, is it bidirectional? Because what you'll see a lot of times is, we can go into the DMS, we go into the CRM, but if anything changes, sorry, not sorry, we can't do anything about it. So now you're trying to compile multiple different systems to complete maybe one task.
That's
so
right.
I'm sure we'll get in the stats here, but it's just crazy how much bad data is out there and how we are literally lighting money on fire because of it.
Yeah, there's no question about it. So how can integrating a CRM and DMS system with bidirectional, sync help to reduce the data issues that are out there?
Yeah, so let's just go over some fun stats here, because everyone that knows me, I'm very much a data person.
Our viewers love data. Stats on this, so that's great.
This is a good thing, right? So 20%, there was a study done on 20% of the vehicles, and that's conservative. We really saw 20 to about 40% plus, no longer owns. So whether you're doing this digitally, whether you're doing postal mail and direct mail, 20% of those customers don't even own that vehicle anymore. We all know the warranty. Hey, your car's up for warranty.
Yeah.
I haven't had it in 12 years.
Right.
50% had no email address or unverified. We love to put none at none.com. We all know this. Well, how are you going to market to that? Like, you can't market to that at all. And so if you're trying to take that list and throw it into Facebook or a retargeting campaign, it's bad information. And then if you take this a step further, 20% of customers have open recall. And I'm seeing quite a few OEMs, they're doing more of a longer term on retention. So when you look at, hey, I've got 20% of open recalls, why are we not attacking that? Yeah. So by having that clean data, and also you just can't do it once. This has got to be an ongoing thing, and partnering with someone that can truly do this, because then it's saving you money, it's bringing in more customers, it's bringing more qualified customers as well.
Right. And what's the objective when you clean the data up? Is it to take those? Obviously, it's not to take those files out, but it's to actually update them and to try to get the correct emails and the correct addresses and the correct cars in there. Because that seems like a very tedious job. You've got thousands of right?
Exactly. People a lot smarter than me know what they're doing with this. Okay. I know how to go in and hey, say this is dirty and help you with this, but I'll make sure you partner with someone that knows what they're doing as well.
Right.
But when you go in, if you're trying, let's take the none at none.com or tester, whatever you want to do there, and you're trying to then market that to someone, you can't. And so when you have the bidirectional systems that can go DMS, CRM, and go both ways, that point I know, hey, Brooke no longer has the none at none.com. She was just put in there because she had a suffice email field. I actually know that she's at whatever her email address. Or on the flip side, hey, Brooke only gives her Hotmail account out to people that ask it, so she knows she's going to get spammed on. So she's not even going to read that email. And so it can recognize that as well, depending on the system that you're using.
Yeah.
And then obviously from a address standpoint, that's a big one. Your cell phones are updated, your postal address is updated. Hey, if they don't own the vehicle, why are we marketing them, whether direct mail or digitally?
Yeah, for sure. And you're right. I mean, it's this false sense of security that dealers have, where a company will come in and go, oh, we're gonna mail to all of these different people, and to your point, only maybe 50%, you're going to have success with, right? And then you're wondering why the numbers aren't there. And the biggest concern to me as a dealer would be, well, this person has done business with me before. Yeah, some of the information isn't right, but if I'm sitting with that person in my database, then how come I can't sell them their next car if I don't have the right information? You know what I mean? And they've done business with us before in one way, in one fashion or another, right? Whether it be through service or through sales, or maybe even they've stopped in and looked at cars, and in went all their information into the CRM.
Amen. Just exactly. I don't think I can say much more than that, but it's so true when you're looking at all of that to say, hey, is this customer still a customer? Did this customer move out of the area? Is this customer no longer has this vehicle?
Yeah.
I always tell the story of there was a household of myself, another individual, and there were three of us.
Yeah.
And we all at one point had one OEM brand. And for some reason, about 10 years later, a local dealership of that OEM starts sending these really, really pretty postal direct mails, but only to one person in the family. I'm like, none of us have had this vehicle at this brand in 10 years. I'm like, that is so much money that you're wasting that could be used at better areas to better target people.
That's right. So what are some of the first steps that dealers can take to ensure more accurate, up-to-date information?
Yeah, so pretty much just know, statistically speaking, that your data is not great. It isn't. It's really dirty. So to have that conversation, if you don't know who to reach out to me. I can point you in the direction of, hey, these companies are in fact bidirectional. This one says they are, but they're not really. But have that conversation. And sometimes we get so wrapped up that, oh, I just got to do more marketing, when in fact that I get that and I understand that, but we have to understand the detriment that we're doing to ourselves and our business when our data is not clean. And so before you do that next campaign, whatever it may be, have a conversation with some software company or some service that can do this for you.
Yeah. And is this something that typically dealers can lean on their CRM provider for, to say, hey, this is the situation. Are you guys going to do this, or can you help me in this area? It would seem to me that, the CRM and the DMS companies out there would want to take this on and help their dealer clients.
Great question. What I have seen so far, the CRM companies that say they can, they can't. We can update the CRM, but to do a bidirectional to the DMS is not an easy task.
Okay.
So I've seen more companies, whether it's CRM or anything, they'll pay, and the client will pay for it, but it is not updating the records like they claim it's going to be.
Okay.
And that is a really tricky, I'll say slippery slope, because a lot of companies do claim they can do this and they can't.
Right. Yeah, that's a real issue, especially going into 2025. Heck, even in 2024, we need every single sales opportunity we get our hands on right now. I mean, it's tough out there, to say the least. And here are these dealers thinking, the marketing managers thinking that they're, oh yeah, we're hitting everybody in our database and what have you. And meanwhile, sounds to me like 50% they're not, right?
No, that's like we'll go conservative on that as 50%. Just know that 50% of your database is not
right.
It's not accurate.
Right. And then how many times are you getting a past customer mad at you because you're sending them a piece where maybe you've traded the car in? How about that? When you've traded the car in at one of their sister dealerships or what have you. So you're like, if anybody should know I don't have this car anymore, it's you. ABC Automotive Group. You know what I mean? I traded this car at one of your other stores, and here I am 3 years, 4 years later getting this, do you want to trade your XYZ, vehicle? And it's like, I don't even have it, and you guys know that, right? It doesn't sit well with the consumer.
No, and it was when GLBA was, obviously a very hot topic, or when the cars rolled out, but that was part of it. If you continue to reach out to someone, they don't have that vehicle, that's a problem.
It is.
Now, where you get a little trickiness, that's not a word, but we're going to call it a word, is that the OEM then can send out stuff on your behalf. So it looks like it's coming from you, but it's not coming from you. So then the customer's upset with that, and you can't control what an OEM or a third-party site is sending that looks like it's coming from you. But do your due diligence in-house to say, hey, we've cleaned this up so we know what is being sent out is accurate.
That's right. Or you're sending out a message to somebody that just purchased a vehicle, and the deals are even sweeter than what you just paid for that exact same car, and did we really just send this customer this offer after they've taken delivery last week of this car for way more money than what we're pushing out there? I mean, I've received those phone calls as well in my career, right?
Well, and you would never see Amazon or Apple or all these ones we hold on a pedestal to say, hey, you just bought the new MacBook. By the way, I just wanted to sell for $200 less. You're like, wait, what? Or you're just in for service, and they're like, hey, you should come in for service. You're like, I was just there. How do you not know this?
Right. And I did not know about the free lube oil and filter, but thank you very much for telling me that it's in here,
Yes.
Yeah, it's crazy. It's crazy. So let's switch gears a little bit. What other trends are you seeing out there? You work with dealers all over the country. And what are some of the other things that you're asking your client dealers to focus on as we close out 2024 and go into the new year?
I think going along with that, the whole data portion of it is that we get so consumed with marketing to people in a way that we don't even really know if they're in market. And so we continue to advertise to them and not know that, hey, is this person actually in our market, or is this person actually looking to buy a vehicle? So especially with the elections and everything like that, we're in election season, we'll say.
Yeah.
October's been a difficult month for a lot of dealerships, and having that conversation before to say, okay, understand what we're going into and how we're going to prep for it. Hey, we know that Amazon's not going to allow political ads. Okay, are we on Amazon? If I want to have the same bang for the buck, I'm going to have to spend a lot more. Do I really want to do that when I'm fighting everybody else? Yeah. So October in general was just a rough month for a lot of different reasons, but we go through this every 4 years. So that's been a big one. And then, like I said, going back to the original one, is just marketing to people that are in market right now versus we're just going to cast a really, really large net, and hopefully 2% of you are going to click on my ad.
That's right.
So I've seen a lot of both of those right now.
Right, for sure. And you mentioned earlier that if dealers want to reach out to you to get the list of companies and providers to clean up their data, they can do that, right?
Of course, yeah.
Good. We'll show the information right here on the screen, how to get a hold of Brooke and take her up on that offer. This is something dealers pay attention to because the time is now. It's not a fun process. Nobody likes to address it. They all point the fingers in the dealership. Sales manager thinks the marketing manager should do it. The marketing manager thinks the GM should do it. They all think that the CRM company should do it. And meanwhile, nobody's doing it. And weeks turn into months, months turn into years, and you have no idea the mountain of crap you got sitting in your data, right? And it's got to be addressed. So somebody in the dealership that's listening to this message, take it on and for once and for all, clean up your data, because it's 2024. We're looking really bad in retail automotive that we're sending out messages to consumers that absolutely make no sense. And you're leaving a ton of marketing dollars on the table because you think you're sending it to, Mrs. Smith over here that's got a Camry, and Mrs. Smith hasn't purchased a car from you in a long time and does not own that Camry. What are you doing? So the time has come. So Brooke Furniss, founder of BZ Consultants Group, thank you once again for joining us here on CBT News. I very much appreciate it. I'd love to do a follow-up with you to see how things are coming along. Maybe you can bring some samples, some examples, I should say, of dealers that said, yes, we cleaned up these 10,000 records, and guess what? We started selling a bunch of cars to this group of people.
Love to do it. Thank you so much. I appreciate it.
Great. Thanks.
Thanks for watching Inside Automotive with Jim Fitzpatrick.